Can anyone see me? I've never live streamed before, so is this weird? Let's try to make the screen bigger. No one here yet. Oh, one person is here. Hello, everybody. Today, well, just a second. I'm gonna take a hot minute to make sure everything's all good to go. Get a little bit of water for my little water bucket so I can clean all these brushes. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions while we're waiting for some more people to arrive. By the way, can you see me okay? Hear me okay? I've never done this before, so it could be weird. But I figured the best way to figure out how to do this is to just do it, right? So I'm gonna go grab some water. We're gonna try to see if any more people arrive. And we're gonna, answer questions, chat, wash brushes. Maybe I'll even put on a little music. That might be nice. Some what do you call that stuff? Not like unaffiliated music. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Well, I'll be right back. Hopefully we have a couple more people arrive in a hot second. Anyone new here yet? Who do we have? Who's this? Is anybody here yet? Say something. Well, maybe I'll say something, actually. I'm going to write. I'm going to say, hey, friends, let me know your questions. I'll answer any and all of them. So, as people do or don't arrive, I am going to get myself a little bit more comfortable here. Grab myself a beer. All my brushes look like a bunch of microphones. Like I'm gonna give a big speech or something like that. But yeah. Okay, let's do this. Hello, Haley. Thank you for saying hello. It means a lot to me. So what I'm up to here today is I've got my entire brush collection. It's after Halloween, right? And all of October, I was doing a ton of gigs and lots of weddings, and basically my entire brush collection is dirty. So I thought if I thought it would be fun to like have a live stream while I'm cleaning them, and you guys can ask me any kind of questions. I can tell, and I can show you all the like brushes that I use on gigs all the time. These are actually deceiving. I just thought it'd be kind of cute to have like all my brushes in front of me, but out of my entire brush collection, these are the ones I haven't used. These are still clean, but these are dirty. 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 So I have a lot of brushes to clean here. So we're going to clean some brushes. And if you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about, just like anything in the world, you can tell me, you can ask me about my favorite beer. I'm having, it's Beer&Beauty. I'm enjoying a beer at all times here. Today I'm drinking Lola's Saison from Abandoned Brewing Company. If you like Belgian style ales, this is a good one, but if you don't, you won't, but I like it. I think it's good. Have you ever went to a haunted house? I don't know if you mean like haunted attraction or like an actual haunted house with like ghosts. I think the answer is, I guess, yes to both, but especially when it comes to like haunted attractions, I am an enthusiast. Like I have gone to a ton, and I've gone to a ton throughout the country. Like I've kind of been on the lookout for like some of the scariest and most fun ones, and I'm really interested in the makeup and the actors and the scenes and the way that like different scenes are constructed in haunted houses. So I've been to a whole bunch. Like I've been in New England. The one that's closest to me is called Demented Effects, and that one's really excellent. Me and my boyfriend went a couple weeks ago, actually, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning stuff with my Dr. Bronner soap while I'm talking about it. I got my Dr. Bronner's, got my silicone pads, so let's clean. But the one in East Hampton here in Massachusetts, it's really excellent. Like it takes forever to get into. Like you have to wait in line for a bajillion years. But there was a scene where we were all in the dark and we had to crawl on our hands and knees, and this floor was all uneven. So, and the animatronics that are in Demented Effects are really good. Like the people that run that haunted house did do so because they have this background in creating animatronic puppets that are super lifelike and really big and scary and fun. So that's what I like about Demented Effects. Some of the scariest ones I've ever been to, though, I think the number one most intense, like very theatrical one that I've ever seen was the one that was in Atlanta, Georgia. It was called Neither World. And that one is excellent. Like the actors were all the costumes and the actors were super detailed. The makeup was super detailed. The actors did an excellent job. Let's see. The scenes were super detailed and also like really a sensory experience. Like there was just lights and sounds and smells and all types of different like scenes, a big variety of scenes. There was like gross out scenes, clown scenes, vampire scenes. And then during that same trip, when I went to Neither World in Atlanta, Georgia, on my way to do a gig in New Orleans, we also stopped in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I went to another haunted attraction there called 13th Gate. And that one wasn't as intense. It wasn't as much of a sensory experience as Neither World in Atlanta, but it had really interesting scenes. Like they had scenes to kind of accommodate a ton of different fears, like a ton of different phobias people might have. But some of my favorite scenes were one of the last scenes in that haunted house was a Evil Dead themed scene where these girls there was you walk into this room that had these two beds and these windows, and there was like this scene, and as you walk in, a big gust of wind comes through and blows open the windows, and then these two actresses come out of the floorboards of the scene. They come like from underneath the bed and out of the floorboards and stuff, and um and in unison will say like this creepy chant of some sort, and it was just like it gave me the chills when I saw it, and like it's just crazy to be. It felt like being in a movie, and it was like a horror movie, and it was super scary. So I really loved that one. My boyfriend, like I've dragged him to a ton of haunted houses all over the place, but his favorite was probably Neither World, the one in Atlanta, but my favorite was probably 13th Gate, the one in Baton Rouge, because of how detailed and interesting and cinematic the scenes were. Even though a lot of the scenes were kind of weird, like they had a scene that was like Arctic themed. So it was like if your fear is being lost in the Arctic, that is something that's going to trigger you, I suppose. But they had another scene that was like bees, like giant people in giant bee costumes, and it's like you're inside of a big beehive. So if you're somebody that's afraid of bees, that will be scary for you for sure. But yeah, those are my two favorite ones. Neither World in Atlanta, as well as 13th Gate in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I can't remember anything, but last year I went to Haunted Overload in New Hampshire. That one was fun because at the end of this scene, me and my boyfriend went there together, and we're going through it, and I like to ham it up when we go to the haunted houses because I used to be a haunted house actor myself, so it used to like really amp me up when I saw other people be scared of my work and what I was doing. So I used to ham it up and scream and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared." Yeah, towards the end of Haunted Overload in New Hampshire, me and my boyfriend had like our arms around each other, and we're like running through the end of the trail, and every couple seconds, as we're running, somebody like a monster will pop out of the woodwork, will pop out of like different hiding places, and it seemed like a little Scooby-Doo scene. So we're just like Scooby and Shaggy like holding on to each other, like, "Oh my God, there's monsters everywhere!" And there's like a monster popping up here and a monster popping up here and over here. It's just really funny. So yeah, those were some of my favorite haunted houses. There's also one in Connecticut called Dark Manor that I almost worked in, actually. But that one's really good. I worked at Fright Fest New England for many years. I did the makeup, and I also scared there. And my favorite, they have a ton of different like neighbors are making sounds, but they have a ton of, what do you call it, different walkthroughs, different haunts there. And I think, let's see, what were they called? They had the Wicked Woods, they had the Haunted Mansion. Oh hell no. Did I get booted? Am I still live? Somebody just called and my entire screen like went away. Somebody made like a phone call and it popped on my monitor, so that was dumb. So okay, good, thank you. But yeah, I love haunted houses, haunted attractions specifically. I think my favorite one from um, Six Flags was probably the Wicked Woods. And then they had another one that was in the water park. It was like a voodoo themed one. But I forget what that one was called. But I think my favorite one was the Wicked Woods. Um, you just were able to like really spread out, and you had your choice of hiding places. And I don't know. I think when I was a child, I went to to Fright Fest as a child, and hello, Mary Gia. Hi. um, Anybody who just joined, let me know your questions. I'm answering questions while washing brushes, so let me know your questions. I have probably time to answer all of them. I just spent like a good 15 minutes talking about haunted houses, so if you guys are gonna watch the playback, check me out on the playback while I'm talking about haunted houses. Um, what else? What else? But yeah, when I was a child, I went to the haunted houses at Six Flags, and I was like 7, and I went through some of the haunted walkthroughs, and that's when I knew that I wanted to be a makeup artist and an actress, and and yeah, later on I applied for a job at Six Flags, and that's how I got into it. How many brushes do you have? Which one your favorite brushes? Well, these are the ones I just washed. I'm washing all my brushes because I haven't got a chance to wash my brushes all October long because, as you know, October is like a hot month to get your makeup done, whether it means doing your Halloween makeup or your bridal makeup. There's plenty of people that have weddings in October because it's been a really mild October. November is already really intense, actually. But as far as my favorite brushes, well, these are the clean ones. These are the ones I have not, I don't need to wash because they're so clean. But all these other ones, I gotta wash. So I'm starting with kind of like the bigger face brushes. But I have a ton of dirty brushes here. There's just so many. Hello. But I'm starting with the face brushes. One of my favorite blush brushes is this one right here. I don't know if I'm actually even going to shampoo it because I don't like to shampoo it too often because it is so expensive. This is a $55 brush, but this is the NARS blush brush, and it's just like excellent. You don't have to think about putting on blush at all. This one's just perfect. Let's see, what else is great? This is one of my favorite brushes for putting on powder underneath the eyes. This is the Morphe Y11. I don't love Morphe brushes, but they have a few that like stand out to me. I think they're great. Some of my favorite go-tos that I can't do a gig without, I love these tiny little Cosette brushes. This is the Cosette S185. I have 4 of these. They're just kind of spread out. This one broke, but I just kind of taped it back together because it's still a damn good brush. And these are like 20 bucks each, but they're like worth it because I use them on like every bride. Because if you ever want to darken up a look and you are scared of overdoing it, you just put on like a tiniest little bit of pigment with this stuff with one of these brushes and blend it out, and it's amazing. It's perfect. Let's see. I love Bdellium Tools brushes. This is just like a regular foundation brush. This Sephora Pro brush, Pro contour brush is one of my favorite contour brushes. However, I am about to wash this right now. I'm starting with the bigger brushes because they take longer to dry. This one bleeds like crazy when you like shampoo it. Like when you leave it out on the paper towel to dry overnight. This one, the dyes like get released out of it and it bleeds like crazy. But it is a beautiful shape for contouring. It really like helps you obtain like a precision contour. So I like to use that one on my brides quite a bit. This one right here is actually one of my favorite bronzer brushes, because it's a little bit of a smaller kind of shape, it really kind of hugs the inside of your cheeks. So I really like this one. This is the Bedalium Tools 964 brush. I need to moisten my palette because I'm talking a lot. Something's missing. I'm trying to find my favorite powder brush. It's like a big one. Is it in my cleans? I don't think so. It must not be here. I must have brushes that like are still not even here because I just have so many of them. But you have to have a lot if you're working on clients, because if you're doing like a large wedding, you need a fresh set of brushes for each person, because you don't want to touch one person's face with a set of brushes that has already been touched, but that you've touched another person's face with, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I guess I just got these Jaclyn Hill brushes. These are kind of new. I still am forming my opinions about those, but yeah, I will let you guys know about more of my favorite brushes as they come up in my washing situation. I was on a hunt for like a good blush brush for a long time. I do still really like this one. This is a really good blush brush. This is the Sigma Duo Fiber powder and blush brush. Gotta shampoo that one too. But you know, something I tend to figure out what I like in a face brush pretty quickly. And then I kind of move on to, like, I spend more time trying to find really good eye brushes. But I'm probably not going to get to eye brushes today because I've got so many brushes to shampoo out here. But yeah, that's that one. This brush is actually really excellent too. I love this one. This is the Smith 112. It's a really excellent like multitasking brush. It's really great for contour. You can actually use it to set your under eye. You can use it as a blush brush too. Precision contour, really good brush for all that stuff. Love that one too. When I'm working on clients and I'm first laying down any kind of like base product foundation, I will use a foundation brush that's kind of like this one. This is my Sigma one. This is actually one of my favorite ones. But as far as this type of brush, you don't have to buy an expensive one. Like this Wet n Wild one does the job just fine. I think I actually will try to wash all of those because I used up all of them. And yeah, this is just like a regular artist brush, but I use it as a foundations brush. This is from Protege. Oh, it looks like this Real Techniques one was not even used, but they're in the dirty pile, so I might as well clean it. And this Luxie one is a new one. But it's quickly becoming a nice one too. So I had a lot of these like foundation brushes because this is what I use for putting foundation on clients, basically. But now I'm gonna wash my bronzer brush here. Ooh, did I show you the Bedalium Tools one? This is a good one. I like this one a lot. I'm a little freaked out that my favorite powder brush isn't here. And it makes me think that I've got more brushes somewhere that I haven't made it to the clean pile that I need to discover and put them here into the cleaning pile. But anyway, does anybody have any other questions? Otherwise, like, let's see. What else can I talk about in terms of haunted houses and brushes? I guess I can talk about a few of my favorite eye brushes. There's quite a few. I actually really enjoy. You know what I really enjoy? These Anastasia brushes, the ones that come with the palettes. I tend to use the flat side to lay down like a shimmer shade, like really pack it on really nicely. Um, and I think I've used up every single one of the ones I have. I have at least like, how many Anastasia palettes do I have? Oh, too many. Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, Riviera, Self Made, the Artist Palette. Is that all of them? I think that's actually, oh, Subculture. So I think that's all of them. So I have at least 6 of these brushes kicking around, and I use them all the time. A lot of people don't like this end, but I like it. I like that it's kind of shorter, so you can really buff out any kind of stubborn shades really nicely. So I like it for that. Who else do we have out there besides Haley and Mary? Not that, I'm not having fun answering your questions. I'm actually having so much fun answering questions. If you got more questions, I've got all the time in the world to answer them. So hook me up with your questions. But let me ask you guys a question. So did everybody have a nice Halloween? And if so, did you do anything fun? Did you like dress up? Did you go to a cool party? Did you go trick-or-treating? What have you? When was the first time you loved to drink beer? And have you tried any good beers lately? The first time I learned to actually, it wasn't until after I was 21 for a while that I really get into drinking beer. When I first turned 21, I didn't really like beer. I don't know. I thought that all beer was gonna be like Budweiser, and I didn't really like Budweiser. I don't think it was tasty. But soon after, like a couple years into college, like when I was like 23, discovered that there's like craft beers, and that's when I really fell in love with beers. Um, let's see, what's a good one that I've tried lately? Well, the one I'm drinking right now is called Lola Saison. It's a Belgian style ale. And that's not my favorite, but it's okay. Um, I've been drinking a lot of Peak Organic beers. That's a brewery from Vermont. And everything that they make is really good. I really love their autumn IPA. It has like a really interesting aftertaste. It's like it's hoppy and it's got that IPA like flavor that I love, but it's still got that like autumn cinnamony like flair to it. I really liked it. I think I'm drinking it in the last video that I posted, which is my Halloween like spirit haul, basically my post Halloween Target and Spirit haul. I'm drinking that beer in that one. And that one was really good. But thank you for your question. That is definitely a question I enjoy answering. Let's see. Let's see. One of my favorite first beers that I learned to love, like the beer that like kind of got me into drinking beer, was a beer called Trois Pistoles from a French Canadian brewery called Unipro. And they're also famous for a beer called La Fin du Monde, which means the end of the world. And Trois Pistoles means 3 pistols. And they're just really strong, very bold flavored beers. Like they're very, I don't know. They really transformed the way I thought about beers when I tried them. And they're French Canadian, and I love French Canada, and I love Canada, and I love French things. Even though Last when I went to French Canada in September and I tried a bunch of their beer, um, I'm actually about to post a video featuring some of these beers that I tried at this one particular brewery, but most of the breweries in Canada weren't, I don't know, as like sexy and awesome as the ones in New England. Like I'm very fortunate to be able to live in New England as a beer lover because this is like beer heaven. Like so many incredible breweries out here. And that reminds me, one of my clients recently gave me a couple beers from a like cult favorite brewery that's out here in New England called Treehouse. And they had, and that brewery's pretty untouchable. Like I've tried to go there to buy beers before, but their lines are always at the door and it's just nuts. And they don't distribute. You can't go to a store to buy their beers. You have to go to the brewery. But if you go to the first page of Untapped and try to find recommended beers, they're always recommending at least one beer from Treehouse. And it's so hard to get that beer. Well, anyway, one of my clients gave me one of those beers to like take home because they know that I'm just like a big craft beer enthusiast and it was delicious. They gave me two actually. One called Green from Treehouse Brewing Company, and I'm actually drinking that one in my other last video that I posted, which is my I think October favorites. I am drinking the Green in October, my October favorites, and then Treehouse also had a fall themed beer called Autumn, I think. Um, yeah, like it's just called Autumn. And it was another just like it tasted like a brown beer, which is great. um, and it was just good. I don't know. But the thing about treehouse beers, even though I love them, is that they kind of all have a similar like aftertaste. Like you kind of just take one sip out of one of those beers and you can just tell that it's from this brewery, you know. But other than that, I actually did have a gig in a brewery this October. I had a gig at the Harpoon Brewery. Has anybody ever had a Harpoon beer? So that's a pretty common brewery. The people know about Harpoon pretty well. But I had a gig there. I was hired by like a Verizon, I think, but it was at Harpoon, and I was able to get some Harpoon beers to take home. And they also distribute for Clown Shoes Brewing Company, which is another really great brewing company. Anyway, let's see, what's it say? Am I the only one sad that it's time for winter Oktoberfest style beers? I'm not I'm not ready to wait until next summer for sours. No, you are not the only one that's like sad about that. Even though you know, winter style beers have their own merits, but I am all about those juicy like sours and those interesting like bold flavor beers, you know? Like I love IPAs and I love sours too. There's actually Evil Cupcake, where are you from? Um I wonder if you're the beers that I'm talking to you about are going to be available where you are. Montana. Oh, awesome. I really want to go to Montana one day. That's one of the few states I haven't visited yet, but I'm really interested in visiting Butte. I feel like, I don't know, Butte seems really interesting, especially because you can drink in public and it's legal. I, I, uh, I think that's cool. um, but yeah, there's a brewery nearby in Brattleboro, Vermont, that is called Hermit Thrush Brewery, and they make exclusively sours, and they're really good at making sours. Um, I'm actually about to in my second channel. Really, Butte is sketch. Well then, I understand because it's like a mining town, right? It's like known for mining and stuff. But I think I'd still love to see the rest of Montana. Big sky country, right? I feel like I love national parks and stuff like that, and I love hiking. And you guys got the Rocky Mountains out there too, right? Like, I'd love to check out that stuff. Um, uh, but yeah, I'd love to check out some of those breweries out there too. You're not that close to Nebraska, but I feel like Nebraska might be one of the closer places to you that I visited and had beers at. But um, there's this one place in Omaha that is like a craft brew bar, and they are incredible. I think they're called like Crescent Moon or Blue Moon or something like that. And they constantly send me like updates on tap. They're just like, come to Nebraska and try our beer. I'm just like, I'd love to, but I don't live that close. Um, but yeah, you know what? If I'm ever near Montana, I will hit you up and ask you which beers and which places I got to go to. Oh, you went to Omaha over the summer? Awesome. I love Omaha. Um, I don't know why I was for this. Have you ever has anybody out there ever m- become interested in visiting a place and like not understand why? For me, that place was like Omaha, Nebraska. I was just like, I don't know what it is, but something's like pulling me towards Omaha. I feel like it's going to be cool. I think I'm going to like it. Kind of like in Arrested Development, how Michael had this strange pull towards Phoenix, Arizona. He had no idea why he wanted to go there, but he just had to go there, and he ended up living there and ended up being really, really hot. And like you can't touch a car door in the summertime. It's too nuts. But I love America and I love traveling. I love how every state in America and every city has its own unique personality and its own like merits for going to it. And like, I don't know, I feel like the United States and their craft beer scene, this is where it's at if you're into drinking craft beers, you know? Um, like all throughout the country, there's just so many great craft breweries, and New England is like craft brewery heaven, and the Southwest is also another craft brewery heaven, and they're kind of, because we have so many like abandoned warehouses and abandoned factories all throughout the country, they're being repurposed as breweries, and I think that's awesome. That makes me so pumped. I love that. And it like makes traveling even more fun and exciting. So I think that's awesome too. Um, Oh yeah, so we've been live streaming for about 38 minutes. So that's pretty good, pretty successful. Um, so far so good. I don't think I'm going to wash all these brushes today because there's just so many of them. Plus, as I've mentioned, some of them are like missing. But I'll wash a couple, like one more really big one. Ooh, this Dr. Bronner soap is really excellent for washing brushes though. It works really good. It's really creating a nice lather, and it smells delicious too. It smells like a nice little lavender. Anyway, I want to show you guys something that came in mail today. Are you ready? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of big. It's a big box. It's a big box of t-shirts. It's so big. It's ridiculous. It's filled to the brim with t-shirts. Because I don't know if you guys know, but I have a lot of interests. Halloween, haunted houses, traveling, makeup, YouTube, beer, wine. I have a ton of interests. But another thing that I do for work is I airbrush t-shirts. And I got hired for an airbrush t-shirt gig in December, like a big holiday party where I'm going to be spray painting t-shirts live. But I also want to make my own merch. Seeing as I have this skill where I can airbrush things onto shirts and stuff, I think I'm gonna make some like Beer and Beauty shirts and maybe some beer review research shirts. For those of you that don't know, I also have a second channel that's exclusively like a beer channel or like a traveling beer and wine review channel. Um, but yeah, not only am I planning on doing that gig where I'm airbrushing t-shirts and I'm gonna make some merch, but I can also make custom shirts. So if you guys know anybody that wants a custom shirt for the holidays or for what have you, or for whatever events that are going on, fundraisers, maybe you're going to a sweet protest or you're going on a cool vacation and you want everybody in your family to have like matching shirts, I could totally hook those up for you. So um, when I post this stuff onto the internet, I think I will leave a link down to all of that below. Hopefully. Oh, back to the favorite brushes question. By the way, I think I'm going to end this live stream in about 4 minutes to keep it like an even 45 minutes. So if you guys have any other questions, just let me know and I will get to them right now. So far, I think I've addressed all the questions that have come up, so I think that's cool. I feel like even though this has been a really small, intimate chat, I feel like it's great. I think that's awesome. That's so like a great first run for chat. But anyway, I was about to say that this is a really great foundation brush if you're looking to spread out really thin, to get like a cream foundation to spread out really nicely and thin. For instance, the Hourglass Vanish Stick foundation. This is like an essential tool. And this is another $50 brush from Hourglass. Do you need this brush? No. I feel like this Bdellium 2's brush kind of does a similar thing. It's just not as densely packed, but it still works for the same deal. You can really spread out the foundation really nice and evenly and smooth, and it looks beautiful. So love that. But I want to go ahead and shampoo these up. And yeah, I think I might do another one of these live streams tomorrow because just because I wanted to shampoo some of my bigger brushes because they take longer to dry today. Will you make a makeup collection video? Absolutely. Actually, I'm planning on doing a lot of makeup collection videos this month. Not only do I plan on doing a declutter series where I'm decluttering a ton of makeup because I'm planning on moving very soon. Like early January, I'm planning to move to California. So I want to downsize my collection a ton. So I'm going to be going through each category of my entire makeup collection. I'm going to declutter a lot of stuff, and I hope to be really ruthless about it too. So I'm planning on doing a declutter series, and I also want to finally do my makeup kit video. So I want to show you guys the kit that I use when I am freelancing and doing makeup for weddings and like proms and Halloween and different things like that. So that's coming too. I hope for that to be one of my next videos, actually. I think what I'll do first is I need to do a Project Pan update. I haven't done a Project Pan update since I think like June or July, so it's time for a new update. And after that, I'm going to be doing that big declutter series. I really hope to be putting out a ton of videos leading up to the holidays. And I have a ton of great ideas. If you guys have any ideas for videos you'd like me to make, definitely let me know, because I really want to try to do like 3 videos a week, maybe even a couple more if I can get them to be short, and maybe a couple more live streams. I feel like live streams would be really fun. So far, I was really worried that nobody would come and nobody would ask me questions. So it's been a really good first run. Thank you so much for you guys. I know there's only a few of us here, but thank you so much for coming and enjoying washing brushes with me and asking me your questions. And it wasn't weird. I thought it was going to be like really awkward and I wouldn't know what to say or do or or what have you, but it's been a really good first run, so cheers to that. But it's been about 45 minutes, guys, so I think I'm going to cut it off here. I got to rinse these babies out. They've got soap all in them, so they got to be rinsed out, but this was fun. I agree. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I will be doing another live stream maybe this time next week. I will definitely like leave an update in my like community tab. I'll let you guys know when the next live stream is going to be. So I hope you guys had fun. It sounds like you guys did have fun, so thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon at another live stream. And until next time, cheers. Bye.